106.7 Lights FM.
106.7 Light FM, Cubby and Christine with a woman right here. We're going to try to give a really good introduction here because I had to write down all these notes.
No.
2-time Grammy winner, 7-time GMA Dove Awards winner, which is gospel, right? 5 Billboard Music Awards, 2 AMAs, along with 4 #1 hits on the Christian chart. I could keep going. Lauren Daigle is here. Congratulations on your success. Good to have you back.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be
It's
here.
been 5 years, right, Christine?
It has, so it's definitely been too long. We're so happy to see you. Congratulations, all this great success.
It's been fun. It's been wild, but it's been fun.
And you have a new album coming out May 12th.
Yes.
Right? Tell everybody about this new self-titled album.
It is a self-titled album that people keep asking, why did you create a self-titled album? And I don't know what it was about just the growth in this particular project. I've loved what I've always done, but being able to be kind of go through this period of time where you're finding your voice again, and I don't know what it was about kind of the alone time of COVID, if you will, but I started finding myself falling in love with these stories of people that would cross on the streets, and I found myself loving folk type lyric, like this art of storytelling. And so in that, I was like, you know what, this is kind of something new. This is sonically something new. I feel like people are gonna get kind of a new experience. I might as well self-title it and start not from scratch, but start something
like starting
fresh.
over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing that you were saying you're very influenced by New Orleans, by Nashville, and is it a folk soul kind of sound?
Oh, okay. It is so funny that you say folk soul, like those two things combined, because my producer, he came to me and he's like, Lauren, I want to show you this type of genre that is a little more, hidden under, you might not necessarily know it out in front, but you'll know the artist. And so I listened to it and it blew my mind. I remember I was on this flight and I just sat there and listened over and over and over, thinking, what is happening to me? And folk kind of, that's more of the Nashville side of things. That's the world that I was brought into. But the lane that I grew up listening to was always soul music, jazz, even like Southern rock.
Really?
Yeah, like my dad he raised us on all of that.
Skinner and all that.
Oh yeah, all of that. And then even like like Led Zeppelin, Journey, just all of it. So I grew up kind of knowing everything from Aretha Franklin to Queen and everything in between. And then also kind of because of New Orleans having this really deep jazz experience. So I wanted some of that, both places kind of brought to light on the record.
Well, didn't your mom call your home a music box?
Yes, growing up, because I would wake up and I would immediately start to sing or whatever. She said, I never knew that you were awake because of looking at you or seeing you. I knew you were awake because you'd be singing or I could hear you talking. So she called it a music box.
So sweet.
So this is your essence. This is who you are.
Oh, yeah. From the downbeat. She said I was cooing before I was like trying to make words. Like as an infant, she said you would always coo and kind of make up little things, but instead of like trying to find out, phonetic sounds and things like that.
Right.
You had a melody going,
Yeah, you really did. I was reading on your website, there is, you can donate to the Price Fund.
Yes.
Because I was reading about your new album and all that, and then it took me to the Price Fund.
Okay.
Explain to people what the Price Fund is.
It is it's a nonprofit organization that we started probably 5 or 6 years ago at this point. And we actually hosted our first event. It was here in New York City years ago, but it has a special place in my heart. So whenever my grandfather was around, he passed this year will be 10 years. But whenever he was here, he always talked to people. It didn't matter if it was the president of the United States or if it was a homeless man sitting in front of Walmart. Like, he talked to every person the exact same. And once he passed, I learned of all these stories of kindness that he would do for people that were, hidden under the radar. And I remember thinking, I want to leave a legacy of love like that. Like, at the end of my life, if I make great music and have all of that success, awesome. But what I want to be known for is, like, what did we do for humanity? What did we change for the good? And he was someone who impacted that part of my life. And so, so we help out with kids in school that are trying to, learn new art, kind of like there's this program in New Orleans that we partnered with, and they're called Kid Smart. And I loved their program because they help out with children that might not necessarily learn how everybody else learns, but if you introduce music, then they can learn math in a different way. They can learn science in a different way. It kind of opens their ability up and their capability up, if you will. The other thing that was really interesting is I went to visit multiple prisons, and I said, what is it that we need to do in order to help kind of break this cycle? Like, what is it that we can help do? And I want to hear directly from you, not from politics this and that. I want to hear from someone who has actually lived it out. And they said the first thing to do is to start with the youth, because whenever they're young, that's when they get empowered with things that would hurt the world, right? And so they said if you start with the youth, you can really make a difference. So we immediately got involved with like after school programs to teach instruments, to teach a trade basically with music. And it's been so powerful to watch unfold. We built a school in the Congo, so it's not just in the United States, it's abroad as well.
This is incredible.
Yeah, LaurenDaigle.com, hit it up, and you'll see it, the price fund.
Yeah.
And I love the website, by the way. It's very colorful.
Thank you.
It's very flashy.
Yeah, I like color.
I love it.
Yeah, your song, You Say, so we hear from so many people, I feel the same way too, that it's inspirational, it's helped us through challenging times. How does it feel to know that that song has helped so many people?
Oh, it's the essence of life for me. I mean that. Whenever I get somebody that I see in the grocery store or see wherever, and they come up and they say, hey, I want you to know this song has meant something to me. That is always treasured. And people, it's so funny, people will preface as, they'll say, I know you get this all the time. And I say, well, you have no idea how much I might have needed to hear that just right here in this moment. Like, maybe I needed that encouragement. And I feel these people's stories are so genuine and so heartfelt and so real. And those are kind of the things that I pack along in the treasure trove, if you will, that keeps me going. I want, it goes back to Prize Fund, I want to make that type of a mark on people's life where it's like, my life was impacted for the good because of that song or because of that moment.
What keeps you so down to earth, by the way? Because you're like so chill, and you, like you said, you like hearing from people. Like they say, "I love your music." You know, it makes you feel good too. Like, what makes you so down to earth? You know, because we've interviewed a lot of people. And not everyone's cool, but most people are. But no, you were just a very approachable, down to earth person. Is that just something that started when you were a kid?
I think it's because I'm from Louisiana. We
a
never
Southern
meet a
girl in
stranger.
you? Okay.
Yeah, my family, like we just grew up talking to everybody. And I grew up in a culture where if you needed butter to make your cookies, you could run to the neighbor's house and say, I ran out of butter, can you give me a stick and I'll get it for you later or whatever. I'll pay you back in cookies.
Right.
And there's just something about that no matter how high, if you will, life brings you, no matter how successful, that is the thing that's actually true. That's the best. All of this other stuff can fall apart in 2 seconds. Really. It can all just kind of, whatever. And the world is quick to love you and the world is quick to hate you. Right. But the thing about it is, if you stick to your roots, if you remember where you came from, you really do find the most life. I find the most life in those places. I love the community that I grew up in. I love the simplicity of it. And I feel like that is actually what fuels me to be able to do everything versus that's the thing I'm leaving. I got to get out of my small town. It's not that for me. It's actually, I got to go home and get associated with that again because it keeps me relatable to other people, versus kind of this crazy life that could separate me from the rest of the world. I personally don't want that.
It's a great attitude. It really is.
Is that where your writing takes place then? Do you usually go home to write?
Some of it, yeah. We had a great writing trip. We went to New Orleans with my producer, two of my writing buddies, and Jason Ingram was one of them who I wrote You Say with. And we had, when I say the time of my life, and we wrote several songs on the record from that experience. You'll hear one of them. It's called Love Me Still. And there was this moment where Jason was walking just through the streets and he saw this graffiti that said, I love you still. And so we wrote this song from that. And there were just all these little moments of being back home kind of tucked away throughout the record. And so bringing them in on that experience was really, really beautiful. And Mike, my producer, he said, hey, Lauren, I want you to know, coming down here has completely shifted the trajectory of the record for me. I know exactly what we need to hear. I know the sounds we need to capture. It's changed everything for me. So it was really special to get to kind of show them a part of that live.
What kind of setting do you have to be in to record or even write? Do you have to be can it be in a room like this, or do you have to be candles and tell me
Okay.
what's a recording session like?
Great. That is actually a great question. I love the light, like the sunlight, natural light, because otherwise I start to fall asleep. I'm like one of the people that I'm like, we've been doing this for 5 hours now, and if I don't get a coffee or some sunlight, I'm gonna fall apart. And so I actually love the sunlight. Ironically, Mike's studio that we recorded everything in is like an old school studio where everything is all like there's a vocal booth, there's a piano room, there's a drum room, but the way that it's all those lines of sight where we have little windows that we can see into each person's room, like an old studio. It was awesome. But there's one skylight in the middle, and I'm like, that's the one I lean on. Where are you? But the day would pass, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's already dark outside. We were in here for hours. So going back to your question, I love the sunlight. It doesn't have to be all the candles and everything. If it's just something, if I can see outside, we're making good time. Yeah.
Sounds like nature and
Yes.
living life and gathering these stories and meeting people. is
Yes.
such a part of it. Your single, Thank God I Do?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful song, and I'm wondering, why you chose that one to share with
To
us
start?
first. Yeah.
Well, I felt like it was a good hand that held close to You Say. Like, it feels like this is 2.0, if you will. Like, I didn't want, because the record is really different from anything I've done before, but I didn't want people to feel like, oh, I'm leaving you behind in this pursuit of new things. Actually, it's just, oh, look, there's this other, I like to write these kind of songs too, or I like these kind of melodies and this kind of sonic landscape. So the record as a whole is a little bit wider, if you will, but I didn't want the people who've been tried and true, who've stuck with me this whole time from the very beginning to feel like Lauren did the thing where she like completely left us behind. That's not the goal at all. So getting to release Thank God I Do, it was one of the first songs that we wrote from the Look Up Child era. So like since the Look Up Child era. So I ended up calling Jason. We had a co-write together. And I said, hey, would you be interested in writing another song together? We hadn't written in 3 years since Look Up Child. And I thought, I might be so rusty. I am nervous. Like, what is it going to be like? And I get in there. It was the most beautiful, redemptive write. I was taking a shower, obviously, before. I like to steam, get the steam in there. And then I ended up, saying, okay, God, give me a Jason melody. Like, anything that I can get that will, just be something good for the room. Because I like going in with at least an essence of an idea. And I got that chorus, the first part of the chorus, and the next day I'm driving over to his studio, and we end up getting, I end up coming up with this little piano motif and a little verse idea. But at the time, I didn't realize that those two parts were the same song. I just thought, oh, I have two parts, maybe they're two different songs. And when I got in, I said, hey, I have this, I don't know if it's any good. And I had the line, I don't know who I'd be. If I didn't know you, I'd probably fall off the edge. But I was like, oh, that's so emo. These are just placeholder lyrics. And there are some things in there that I was like, I just said it to fill the phonetic space, but I wasn't thinking these were going to be the lyrics that stuck. And then when I got in there, he's like, no, you need to keep this. I said, really? I was like, we can scrap that. He said, no, keep it. So it was really just a beautiful write. We wrote it in 45 minutes, and that was the very first piano motif that I had ever started for a song. And he came and rounded it out and made it beautiful. So
Everything happens for a reason, right?
yeah.
That's gorgeous.
So you can pre-order the album, laurendaigle.com. You can get, people can order, I think, signed copies.
Oh, I
And I
love
saw
that, yeah.
and vinyl. There's vinyl, too.
Yes.
You're-
Everybody keeps talking about the colors. I forgot. We made all these decisions along the way, and I completely forgot. I was like, oh, yeah, we chose colorful vinyl. We chose all these things.
Are you a
And-
vinyl fan, by the way?
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
have a setup
I
at
love
home?
It. I do, yeah.
You have turntable and all that?
Turntable. I have 2 of them. One of them was a gift from my manager, and then one I
love
bought.
that.
Yeah, it was crafted in Europe. It was like a handmade wooden one, which is really
Little
beautiful.
Sunday morning vinyl action.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
that.
yes. You know.
Yeah, that's what I like to do.
Yes. Cup of
I have a
coffee.
Mickey Mouse record player though. Mine's like, old.
I,
but, yeah, you're,
well,
you have a
hey,
fancy
as
one,
long,
sure.
as long as they
It
play
works,
it, that's
yeah.
all that matters.
You love
I
that
don't
crackle.
have the fancy speakers, and that's where it's at.
That's what you need. You need that
That's-
big speaker
yeah.
next to the turntable.
Yeah, I don't have that, so I will one day. But that's the mecca. The speakers are everything. Anyway, so
But people love the colors.
yeah, people love the
Yes,
colors,
uh-huh.
and they're. So I was walking around, and people would come up to me and say, "I can't wait for the orange one. I can't wait." And I was like, "What are they talking about?" Oh, I can't. The orange vinyl. It's gonna be so cool. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot about." Because we made all of these decisions like
So long ago, right?
yeah, so long ago. It takes a while. People always say, why does it take so long to put out music? And I'm like, well, vinyl takes a long time to print. But it's fascinating to learn about. It's really beautiful.
And yeah, people love to collect it too, you know, so they'll get different copies to get all the different colors and all the photos. It's exciting. And you're about to tour again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can
It's going to
imagine.
be colorful. That's for sure.
Right. It begins in April, right?
It
Or
starts
is it May?
it starts in September.
Oh, the tour starts in
The
September?
store, yeah, we have the record coming out in May, and then we're going to do some festivals and stuff in the summer, and then
Yeah, I did see some
start
stuff in the
real
summer, so that's what I thought maybe. So the official tour is September, and I believe you're coming to our area
Yes.
at October, right?
Yes, I have Prudential Center October 20th. Write it
Yeah.
down.
Jersey,
Yes,
Jersey.
come on.
Made a note of it.
Get on
you're
over
gonna
to
be nearby.
Jersey.
Love that.
Well, anything you want to say before we wrap this up? Anything we didn't hit that you want to promote?
Oh, well, I mean, the tour is exciting.
Yep.
I can't wait for the record. I mean, I genuinely am I'm excited. This feels like one of those records that you, as an artist, you long to make. And then I finally got to make it. And in a way, like, just because you asked about the studio and all of this, we all went down at the same time. So, like, I was singing while the band was also playing. And there's something about that original way, like Muscle Shoals and stuff with Aretha. That's how they did it back in the day. And there was something really, really special about that experience for me, and I think you're going to get to hear it on the record. So all that to say,
is
I'm
so
pumped.
cool.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Thank y'all
Lauren,
for
we
this
can't
interview.
Thank you enough.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
thank
It's
you.
So good to see you again.
Thank you. So good to see you too.
All right, Lauren
Yeah.
Daigle, Light FM.
106.7 Lights FM.